Well, here we are. I'm gonna do this again. Rayford Owens. I'm a certified master mindset life coach. And all I do is I help people take whatever issue it is in their minds and help give them the tools to overcome those issues. That is what I do. Certified in emotional intelligence coaching, confidence coaching. REBT is rational emotive behavior, our belief systems and what those do for us. Cognitive behavioral life coaching is how my thoughts equal my actions. That is what I do. And so, yeah, I'm out here trying to help everybody get the right tools to make this happen. So once again, this is week 2 of the Satisfied Life. And this is week 2 of Jesus and mindset. So let's get into it. Yeah, let's go. Hope y'all ready. Recap. Last week, we talked about understanding the satisfied life. What does that even mean? We talked about Jesus coming to give us a life that satisfies and give us that life in abundance. And I absolutely love that. Jesus said, this is what I came to give you. And we all know and understand Jesus is not a liar. And so because Jesus is not a liar, that means if he came to give me a life that satisfies, that I can be satisfied living right now, then I should probably go live this life. And so we talked about the Beatitudes, how each one of those give us a different side of the characteristics that we should be aiming for. And further, it gave us, we looked at Philippians 4, 6 through 13, and what we need to do in our daily lives, the practical side of this thing, the practicalities of focusing on whatever is true, whatever is lovely, whatever is excellent, worthy of praise, commendable, honorable, just, pure, all of these things. We need to make sure that we are focusing on those things every day in our lives. And as we do that, as we change our mindset and we look to find those things in our lives, then we start to find those things in our lives. And it's really awesome. So, yeah, we find those things and we become more satisfied as we live life. So that was the basis of this entire thing. From here, we are talking about today, growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Scripture reference for today, Romans 12:2. We all know it. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So be transformed by the renewing of your mind. All of what I do as a life coach is to help people renew their minds. Crazy thing about this is when you flip over to Ephesians chapter 4, Paul is writing like what your life should look like as a Christian. And when he's writing all of these things, in verse 23 of chapter 4, he says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And I love that both of these words or both of these verses have the same word, to be renewed in your mind. Being renewed in your mind, renewing your mind, renewing your mind. When we do a quick breakdown of what these words actually mean, the Ephesians version is my part. It's what I do with my study time. It's what I do with my learning, my intelligence, my abilities. What I do is me renewing my mind, who I hang out with, what church I go to, what do I study, so on and so forth. That is me doing my part. It is a quantitative renewing. It is a part of me that I have to put some work in. What happens in Romans 12:2 when it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that is what God does with what I offer him. That makes sense? What God does with what I offer him. So when I sit down to study the scriptures, when I sit down with my friends and I have a godly conversation, when I go to church on a Sunday morning, when I participate in doing my part for my Christian life, for my relationship with the Father, He makes me a different person. And that's where that transformation comes from. That's how that transformation happens. So I have to do my part, and God will do the rest of it for me in my mind. And again, I want to show you, Rafer wants to show you today how to do that, how to start renewing your mind so he can do a work in you as you live life. That makes sense? Cool. So today we're talking growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and I am super pumped about it. Let's just jump into it. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort, learning, and persistence. A fixed mindset is the belief that that abilities and intelligence are static traits that cannot be changed. So, growth mindset, abilities and intelligence, I can develop these with effort, with learning, and with persistence. Fixed mindset, I cannot. You are born with it or you're not, and that's it. Now, why is this dangerous? Why does this matter? For the simple fact of, we see kids do it all the time. They try something new, and what do they say the first time? I'm just not good at it. Well, at the moment that I say I'm just not good at it, I have now fixed in my mind that I can't even learn how to do it. This is something very specifically that Jenny and I work on with our kids. When Brooklyn, especially Brooklyn, when she tries something, she is quick to throw it, yell, I'm not good at this. And we're like, hey, slow down. Do you want to learn? And she slowly, yeah. Okay, so let us teach you how to do this thing. And in that, we teach our 4-year-old daughter that she can develop intelligence and abilities as long as she puts in effort and she wants to learn and she is persistent. Think about it. Nobody looks at a child 10 months old, and nobody gets upset at them for trying to walk and falling. And what do they have? They have effort. They are learning every time they do something, and they are persistent. And so at that age, they have such a massive growth mindset. Could you imagine the first time you saw a child try to stand up and walk, and then they fell down and they never tried again? You'd be like, that's weird. And what we tend to do as adults is we tend to kill the growth mindsets that children have because we have fixed mindsets. And so we tell people, you can't do this. You can do this. You cannot do this. You can do this. It has to be done this way, so on and so forth. And we put fixed mindsets on people. So in real time, I love this so much. In real time, what does having a growth mindset look like? What does it look like? Embracing challenges and learning from failures. Embracing challenges and learning from failures. I am trying my best to, 1, take on the challenge, and then 2, I am trying my best to learn from the failure that I know is about to happen. That is one step of a growth mindset, or one part. Seeking feedback, viewing it as an opportunity for improvement. How did I do? Was that okay? What can I do better? What can I do next time? Just last week, I tried to do the webcam thing. It was a whole thing behind the scenes. And I was like, man, this is just trash. But instead of stopping there, because it wasn't what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do, the question was, how can I make this better for me? And how can I make this better for the person that wants to watch this later? Growth mindset, looking for opportunities to grow and to change and to be better. Persisting in the face of setbacks. I know that life is gonna life. Things are going to happen. People are going to be people. The things are coming. The things are happening. I have to make sure that I can push through that. I got to make sure that I can push through it. And so those are the characteristics of a growth mindset. The characteristics of a fixed mindset: avoiding challenges to prevent failure. We have all been there. I don't want to do, I don't want to say, I don't want to mess it up. And what happens anyway? It gets messed up. Because every time I don't try to open the door is going to stay closed. Every single time. And so I see it so often with people where it's just not worth me trying. But if it's not worth me trying, then that means it's never going to work. If I never attempt to make it happen, then it can never happen. So, avoiding challenges to prevent failure, ignoring feedback, or taking it as a personal criticism. Yeesh. I take what you see in me, the potential you see in me, the things that you see in me, I take those things and I take them personally. If you ever find yourself upset with somebody because they're like, hey, if you were to try it this way, it will work out better. And I'm mad at them because they telling me that I'm the worst. And they never said that. So I know I have a fixed mindset in the moment where somebody comes to give me or offer some advice or some help, and I take it like they don't think I can do it. I have been there. It is not a fun place to live. And that's why I want to help other people not live there. I have to make sure and understand that I can receive feedback from people because they may just want to help me. And we'll get into how to know the difference later. But giving up easily is another characteristic. Giving up easily when I am facing an obstacle. Like I said earlier with Brooklyn, she's so quick the first time. I'm like, nobody knows how to do anything the first time. None of us. None of us know how to do anything the first time. And so we do. We have to make sure that when we run into the obstacle, that we give it a second try. Every time you give it a second try, it's going to be better than the first one. Remember that growth mindset says persistence is what I'm going to give and what I'm going to bring. But if I get to the first obstacle and I stop, I never actually do this thing how it was intended to be done. I know everybody, we've been watching the Olympics, having a really good time watching these Olympics. And I want to talk about the hurdlers real quick. Hurdlers, whatever you want to call them. The people who jump over things while they run. Could you imagine the first runner or the first hurdle, all 8 people are running and they take off, 7 of them take off and only 1 stops. They got to the Olympics. I don't know how they got to the Olympics and they're doing hurdles, but every time they get to this first hurdle, they just stop because it's the first obstacle in front of them. That's what we look like when we carry the mindset of a fixed mindset person. That's what we look like. We look like a hurdler running and then stopping at the first hurdle and never trying again. That's a fixed mindset. So, y'all know me. I'm not here to talk you theory. I'm here to give some actual examples about what these things look like in real life. So number 1, our parenting skills. Parents, all of us. At some point, these kids go so crazy on you that you're like, they crazy. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle it. The fixed mindset person says, I don't know. I got nothing else. And it's on me. Everything that these crazy kids do, it's on me. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to figure it out. I don't know where to start to figure it out. I don't know. Parenting. In my career, I'm taking feedback and I'm like, ugh, I'm just not good at this. You're 6 months on the job. You got to learn. I'm not good at this. This was the wrong decision. I can't do it. But that's not the truth. Let's keep walking through these examples first. In our homes, avoiding tasks due to perceived limitations. That's something I do all the time myself, and I am working on that. Jenny will tell you, your boy is actively trying to have a growth mindset when it comes to cleaning up. Because listen, I just be like, nah, you do it so fast and I don't do it fast, and that's it. But I am aware. We're going to talk about being aware. I promise. We're going to talk about it. But saying in the moment, that's just not what I do, so I can't do it. That's how I know I have a fixed mindset. In my church, I'm declining new responsibilities. Hey, you want to help out with this? Hey, you want to host a small group? Hey, you want to do this? Nah, I can't. I'm not a leader. I'm not a preacher. So I don't think I'm good at it. I don't think I can do it. I shouldn't even try. Fixed mindset. It's everywhere. With my emotions. If I start to feel overwhelmed or I feel trapped, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence next week. Believing that they can't change. I'm just an anxious person. I'm just a sad person. I'm just this type of person. And that's it. Fixed mindset, man. Fixed mindset. This is just the person that I am. I'm just always doing it. My finances. People who believe that they are just inherently bad with money. No, you just never learned. But what they say, I'm just not good with money, man. Jenny and I would hear that all the time. You guys are so good when we were paying that debt off. Oh, you guys are so good with your money. You're so good with your money. And it would make me so mad. Because I was bad with money, straight up. And I learned every day through persistence, reading books, listening to podcasts, like putting in actual work to become somebody different. But the person who says, well, I'm just bad at it, they never get to the next part. They never get to see. They never get to learn. They never get to challenge themselves. Fixed mindset, man. Working out. Eating better. These notes are wild. These notes are wild. Avoiding difficult exercises because you think you are not compatible. I will say this right now. Nobody likes doing burpees. They suck. But you can exercise. And it's as small as walking. But if I just say I'm not athletic, then guess what? I won't be athletic. We're going to talk about how this fixed mindset makes us look at our lives in a couple weeks. But this fixed mindset puts me in a place where I legitimately feel like I can't do it. Like I can't do anything. Eating better, giving up. Everybody says that I'm just not good at dieting. I can't stick to a diet. But you choose what food you eat every day. I just can't. Fixed mindset. Time management. Believing that you are inherently bad at managing your time. I've always been late. I'm gonna be late. I'm just a late person. That's it. Fixed mindset. Once again, hard conversations, avoiding these conversations for the sake of fearing conflict. Avoiding the conversation. I know I need to say something. I know I need to speak up. I know I need to. But what do I say? I'm not good at dealing with confrontation, so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just not going to talk about it. And so then all of this just sits inside of me and I'm carrying stress and my shoulders are tight and I'm grinding my teeth at night because I'm just holding on to these examples. I'm holding on to the things that I don't think I can do. But when it comes to parenting and I say, hey, come hell or high water, I'm going to be a better dad today. Yeah, I'll read the book. My friend just posted a book about raising strong daughters. And I said, well, I need some tools in my tool belt. Let me buy that book because I want to be better for them. In my marriage, I want to be better for Jenny. So let me read, let me listen, let me try things out. Yeah, sometimes it fails hard. Sometimes I fall flat on my face. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try because I want to have a growth mindset. I want to keep presenting myself day in and day out as a better person or better than I was the day before. And so when it does come to a career, hey, I'd like to do a weekly meeting if you can, boss. If you can do a weekly meeting, I want to just get some feedback on where I am, where I want to go, how I can make things better so I can achieve the things I want to achieve, not to appease you, but to achieve the things that I want to achieve because I know I can. So I'd like to sit down. Hey, I've never done this before. I've never led a small group. I've never hosted a small group. I don't know. I usually just come to church. But you know what? I can try. You got some rules, you got some things, some tips. Because I'll be persistent. I can give it 8 weeks. I can attempt it. I can learn from the week before. I can do that. I can do that with my emotions. Can I develop strategies to manage my emotions better? I think I can. Again, I can read a book. I can watch a podcast. I can listen to this podcast or live stream for the next 4 weeks. What is Rafer going to say that may just help me next week talking about emotional intelligence? I'm always telling people that I'm just this and I'm not going, this is who I am. But what if we can change that? I know we can. We will. My finances, yeesh. The moment you go from I'm just bad with money to I'm at least try this budget thing out and just try to stick to it. And then you don't. You blow through a couple categories. That happens. But then you get better and you blow through less and less categories as time goes on. But if you stay in I'm not good with money, then for sure you're not going to be good with money. So you have to at least make the attempt. You have to accept the challenge. You have to put yourself in the shoes of a person who is good with money. You got to do it. Working out. I may not do this perfectly, but I know that with time, I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get faster. I will be better at this. If forever you woke up and you did 12 push-ups a day or however many, you would be better at push-ups. Plain and simple. You may not like the push-ups, that's a different story, but you will be better at them regardless of what you feel about them. Because you will cultivate a growth mindset. I can't wait to show y'all how to actually shift it. Eating better, time management, hard conversations, the same thing. I just have to put myself out there. I've got to do something. Because I know for sure if I don't say anything, if I don't change my eating habits, if I don't change my time management habits, if I don't change anything, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to live. This is how my life is going to operate forever. But where most of us, and I want us to get this through, it's not about the can I do it? It's if I'm willing to learn. That's the piece that I need us to walk away with. Am I willing to learn? Am I willing to be persistent? Am I willing to keep trying? That's the question. Am I willing to keep trying? So how do I develop this growth mindset? How do I do it? I got 4 steps for you. Shift number 1, Recognize your mindset. Recognize when you are in a fixed mindset. Recognize when you're in a fixed mindset. First and foremost, I got to know when I am in a fixed mindset, because at the moment that I shut it down, it's so natural to me. Oh, I'm just not good at this. And so I move on to the next thing. So I have to start building awareness about my thought process. My notes say, think about what you think about. You have to begin thinking about the things you think about. So when it comes to having hard conversations, or when it comes to managing my money, when it comes to how I approach life, when it comes to how I parent, how I approach my wife, how I live in my home, how I serve in my church, how I do all of these things, I got to recognize the moment that I shut down the growth mindset. So I have to be aware of where I am. Always, forever. It is a practice that you have to keep doing. You have to keep practicing awareness of where you are. That makes sense? That's my phrase when I'm done with the point, Does that make sense? But I have to make sure that I recognize when I have a fixed mindset. Period. Every time that I say I'm just not good at that, or that doesn't come natural to me, or I'm just this way, that's the moment that I have to say, oh, wait. Is there anything I could do to change that? But that's the first step, building awareness of my mindset. Is it fixed? Is it growth? That's number one. Number two, dang, I got like real slides out here. That's crazy. Number two, embrace the challenges. Actively seek out opportunities to challenge yourself. Make sure you are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone all the time. Push yourself out of the comfort zone. Further, when you push yourself out of the comfort zone, celebrate your victories. The fact that you pushed yourself out of the comfort zone already is huge. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel, I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, lean into that. And you tell yourself, we are building a growth mindset. I am building a growth mindset. I have to make sure that I am moving forward. So when that moment comes and the challenge feels weird, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. This feels weird. You gotta keep going. You have to keep going. Every single time, you have to keep going. Where'd my fourth step go? Oh, there it is. All right, I'm ready. So I have to embrace the challenge. I have to know, one, when my mind is fixed and say, no, let's change that. And two, I have to embrace the challenge. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel crazy. It's gonna be discombobulating, but that's when you know that's what I need to lean into. Number three, what is going to happen is you're going to develop resilience. Plain and simple. You are going to cultivate perseverance, and you're going to maintain a positive attitude when adversity comes. But the developing of your resilience only happens when you push yourself out of your comfort zone. I don't know if y'all remember when Jenny and I did 75 hard for the first time. I did it, got to, day 28, was having a hard day. I was mad. It was a whole thing. Quit, day 28. But through that entire challenge, he says, hey, if you can do these things, all of these things are uncomfortable. Yes, there are check marks that you have to do every day. 75 hard is a mindset challenge. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. One has to be outside. 2 45-minute workouts a day. You have to read 10 pages of some sort of book that is going to help you live the life you want to live. You want to be a better parent. You want to be a better businessman. You want to scale your business, whatever. You need to read a book, 10 pages of a book every single day that leads you where you want to live your life. You read a gallon of water every day. Take a picture of your physical body every single day. And then you have to choose a diet that you're going to stick to for the 75 days. Now, if you're listening to me and you're like, man, that sounds ridiculous. Yes, it is. But I have to embrace the challenge if I want to develop resilience. If I'm going to develop perseverance, I have to create things in my life that challenge me. I have to lean into that challenge, celebrate the small victories, and then, and only then, when real adversity comes up, because I've been doing all this stuff over here, building my resilience and embracing challenges and taking things head on, guess what? When adversity comes my way, I'm ready for it. I am ready for the challenge because I've been challenging myself. If I can recognize when I shut something down, but next time I'm going to embrace the challenge of it, more and more I'm going to develop this bounce back. Nothing will faze me because I am the one that puts myself in challenging moments. So then when challenging moments actually come, people look at you and go, man, that's crazy. How did you do that? Well, I paid the debt off in a year, and that was really hard. So this is easy. Waking up to work out is the easy part because I already paid the debt off. But I know I can do that because I've embraced a challenge, and through embracing that challenge, I naturally will develop resilience. That's really good. It's just going to happen. It is a byproduct of living a life of challenge. Yeesh. And then lastly, here we go. You have to seek continuous improvement. Commit yourself to a life of learning. You have to keep learning. You have to keep growing. You have to keep going. This is going to be a forever thing that you do. And you know, one thing I read it, saw it, heard it. They say the people who tend to live longer are old people who keep learning new things. The young man who stops learning is old, and the old person who continues learning, they are the young person. And we've all seen it. We've all seen old people who are just out here killing it. And we have seen old people who are not, because they are not continually improving. They are not continually learning anything. I like to tell people, you following too many people on Instagram. Rayford, you don't even know how many people I follow on Instagram. If you're following more than 100 accounts on Instagram, you're not getting anything from Instagram. Same with TikTok. If you're just on TikTok, but your algorithm hasn't been curated to feed you learning things, you're following too many and it's not helping you. It's keeping you in a fixed mindset. So you have to continue learning. You have to continue growing. And here's the thing. When you do that, God, again, is going to do his part of transforming your mind. Proverbs 2:6, for the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. And this word wisdom is skills and abilities to make decisions and do things that bring continued success. The Lord is going to give you skills and abilities that will help you live a life of continued success. Oh, remember number 2, embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories. When was the last time you looked at your own life and said, this is a victory for me to celebrate? And I would dare say it may be because I'm not embracing the challenges. I don't know that I have a fixed mindset. And so because I don't know that I have a fixed mindset, I can't embrace challenges. But man, when you start to see that you are living a life that is fixed, mindset fixed, when you start to see it for yourself, everything is going to change. No, I want to challenge myself. I want to embrace the challenge of having the hard conversation. I want to build resilience. I want to keep learning how to do things better. I want to be better every single day of my life. And it's not a drastic change that happens over time, or it's not a drastic change that happens overnight. It is a gradual change that happens over time. A transformation is not something that just instantaneously happens. It is a process of building and building and building, and I have to keep building. So if God is going to give me wisdom, if he's going to give me skills and abilities that are going to give me continued success in my life, what am I doing if I'm not receiving that? So again, going back to last week, we talk about living a satisfied life that Jesus said he came to give, but I shut the satisfaction faucet off the moment that my mind is fixed. The moment my mind is fixed, I can't even get to a place to receive the wisdom. God, show me what to do. God, show me what to do. God, show me what to do. But then when he says, hey, do this, and it's uncomfortable, what do? Well, I'm not good at that. And I shut down the very thing that God said he would give me. I shut down the very thing, the very path that leads to satisfaction, the very path that leads to skills and abilities, the very path that will lead me to continued success. I shut it off because I'm not good at it. Well, I'm just anxious. I'm not good with money. No, I never did that. No, I don't eat well. I can't stick to a diet. And so every single thing that God promises, we turn it back on him and say it's his fault because I don't have it. Jesus is not a liar. God the Father is not a liar. So I got to have some tools to actually do this thing. And so I have to recognize when my mindset is fixed. I have to recognize, oh, my mindset is fixed. Let's embrace the challenge and try it next time. Let's embrace the challenge. Let's develop some resilience. Let's put ourselves in a process that forces us to do this for longer than one time. Start as small as you want. Because you got to celebrate the small victories, not the big ones. We think we can just jump into 75 hard and then just go, oh man, look guys, I did 75 days. No. Celebrate the first thing that you did in day one. Well, I started and it was scary, but I did the first 45-minute workout. I walked outside for 45 minutes. It was crazy, but hey, I did it. So I got one check mark down, and from here, I just got to stick to my diet and read my 10 pages today. Got to do another workout. And you celebrate every step along the way. And as you celebrate, guess what? Now you've got a bankroll of data of things that you have challenged yourself on, and things that you have tried, and things that you have achieved, and things that you have learned, and things that you've committed to. And then from there, you keep learning, keep going, keep trying. It's a very beautiful life. I promise you, Life is so good when you have a growth mindset. And again, these are the steps that you need. These are the 4 things. Recognize your mindset, embrace the challenges, develop resilience, and keep learning. Keep learning. So, your challenge this week. 1, it's not all 4 of these. Your challenge this week is just to recognize your mindset. Recognize your mindset in different situations. That's step 1. That's all I want you to do this week. Just try to recognize the moments when you say, I can't do it. Recognize those moments and then challenge yourself to do it the next time. Y'all got any questions? Throw them out there. Throw your questions out while we're here, and I'll try to answer them. And if y'all don't have any questions, then we're going to go to next week, which is emotional intelligence. And I'm very excited about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is massive. How to manage my emotions. What are emotion words? Saying I feel emotion versus saying I feel really long dissertation. We're going to really unpack that, and I'm really excited about that. What did I do when I did 75 hard? So the first time, so for me, my big issue is, 1, I don't drink water as much as I want to. That's on my affirmations list, which we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. And I needed to add more fruits and veggies to my meals. So when I did 75 hard, one big thing for me was walking. I bought a weighted vest and I would walk outside for 45 minutes every day. And then I found this guy named Bully Juice on YouTube, free video. And this guy would just walk me through a 45-minute hit. 45-minute hit. And so I would do my indoor workout right in my living room, on YouTube, on the TV, working out. And then I would walk later in the day. Either I'd walk in the morning and then do a Bully Juice video later. Or if I was just going to stretch because I am getting older and I want to keep my mobility, I would stretch for 45 minutes. Most flexible I've ever been in my life. I think when we completed 75 hard, I think I was stretching indoors 45 minutes for probably 3 or 4 nights a week. And that changed my life, man. I was so mobile and flexible. It was wild. But again, even in that part of my life, I was just continuing to find different pages and people there's a whole mobility page, this couple who just, all they do is mobility, hip flexors, ankles, just everything. So the workout was, I wanted to do something as easy as possible that could get me done at 45 minutes. That was that. The reading was always easy for me. I love reading. I love reading. I love reading. So I just read all the time. And a lot of days I read more than 10 pages. But I had to make sure I was managing, more than anything, that I was managing my time well. And so I had to wake up early to get that 45-minute workout done, that first one. And then the second one, at some point during the day, usually after work, I would do my second 45-minute workout. And so take my picture early in the morning, read at work. If you can, drink your water. I always say, if you get that first 45-minute workout done and try to have 40 ounces done, you're well on your way the rest of the day. And then after that, my diet, I just added fruits and veggies to every meal I had. So if we went to McDonald's, I would just ask for apple slices and I'd eat my apples with my meal. A lot of times I like to get a milkshake instead of the shake. Or instead of fries or something like that, I get veggies instead of, fries. So it's all up to you. Do what is best, but make sure you are challenging yourself. And that is the point of 75 hard, to make sure you are challenging yourself. And so, growth mindset, man. That's where it is. If you can take on this mindset, you can do anything you want to do in your entire life. I kid you not. If you want to live a life that is satisfying in Jesus, embrace the challenges. Notice when you have a fixed mindset and embrace that challenge of changing it. Learn to grow, develop some resilience, and further keep learning. And your life is going to change, period. So that's all I got. I hope y'all had a good time. We are done. Next week, again, is emotional intelligence, and we're going to talk about how to manage my emotions. What are the emotions? What am I feeling? How to properly let go of these emotions and process them. It's going to be a good week next week, and I'm really excited. Thank y'all for joining, and we'll see y'all on the flip. Peace out.